Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the John Olive Fifth Quarter Show 2011 Wildcat Football. Glad to see you here this morning, and I'm with Coach John Olive after a trip to McGavock last night. A good trip to McGavock.
Sure.
Yes, it was.
Sure was. Take those kind of trips every time.
They were the champions of their region.
That's correct. They're
12-3A.
the defending champions, and they're also picked to repeat this year. They're a lot in the same boat we are, though. They have a lot of players that they're having to replace.
Right.
And they have some very athletic young men. I'm glad we're playing them week 1 and not week 4.
I was surprised at how large some of those young men were, and they seemed to be quite athletic. And we sort of got a jump on them, and I just don't think I think they kind of shook them a little bit, and they played kind of out of sync, seemed like to me, for a greater part of the ball game last night.
For the most part, and we thought that was important. As a coaching staff, we had talked about that if they jumped out on us, it would get that much harder. That we thought it was very important for us to come out of the gates hard and fast, and to try to get up on top of them to shake their confidence a little bit, because we knew that if they got more confident, it would just be that much tougher of a ball game.
Now, don't they have a young man that's already committed to Vanderbilt,
yes,
or
number
something
60,
like that?
You'll see him. If I could pronounce his last name, I would.
But our boys played a great ball game last night. We, as you'll see, on both sides of the ball, I was very impressed, and I know after the scrimmage game you had at the Fan Feast, things were not quite the way you wanted them to be, and your boys made great strides in 3 days.
Well, defense, we've been preaching all preseason. We got to win third down. We got to get off the field, and I thought Coach Britton and his rest of the defensive staff on that side of the ball did a great job last night. I think in the first half that we had 3 3-and-outs, 1 4-and-out where we held them on the fourth down there in the middle of the field, and then we created 5 turnovers, 3 fumbles, I believe, and 2 interceptions.
Yeah, that was big.
So that is just fantastic job by our defense, and if we're able to do that, we're going to win a lot of ball games. I can tell you that much.
That's a great part of it when they're running the ball and it ends up on the ground. That's good.
Yes, and I thought from a physical standpoint, I thought our young men competed well last night.
Yeah, they did. They really did. All right, folks, what we're going to do right now is we're going to take you to a quick commercial break, and we'll be back with the first quarter of play. Tullahoma versus McGavock in Nashville. John Olive Fifth Quarter Show 2011. Football season's here, folks. Isn't it great? We'll be right back.
Since 1917, Builder Supply has been the place to go for all your building materials. It's where the contractors have shopped for years. Builder Supply has quality gray seal paint, Caradco, Peachtree, and Anderson windows and doors, vinyl replacement windows, General Shale brick, Lone Star masonry cement products, and Tamco roofing. Also, experienced salespeople are there to help you find the right products for your job. When you're ready to build, whether large or small, think Builder Supply.
It's football time in Tennessee. Keith Barnett here with the Russell Barnett Automotive family, where we're ready for another great season. The name you've trusted for over 30 years and home of the million-mile warranty. Stop by one of our 4 locations and catch that next great deal. Russell Barnett Chrysler Dodge Jeep, Chevrolet GMC, Ford and Mercury in Winchester, and Russell Barnett Kia in Tullahoma. My question is, why buy anywhere else?
Unlike all the rest, the Bank of Tullahoma will provide you with a different banking experience. We offer accounts that make banking simple and hassle-free with all the conveniences you want and need most. At Bank of Tullahoma, you can expect outstanding service from friends you know and trust. Call the Bank of Tullahoma, 931-393-2265, and experience the bank that is unlike all the rest.
Welcome to the Rose Bowl. The team's taking the field. Not many people. Oh, my. He missed. Oh. Off to a rough start here. Somebody wants to go home. What's he doing?
If you're not watching college football in HD, you're watching Pee Wee TV. Graduate to Charter TV in HD and let it all in.
Clayton has been Tullahoma's family shoe store for over 100 years with a reputation for passion and personal service. And the tradition continues today. Stop by Clayton and see our large selection of fine shoes.
We're gonna fit your style. We're gonna make you smile. Service and quality at Clayton Shoe Store. We're gonna fit your style.
All right.
Our captains last night, and these are our permanent captains elected by their teammates. Number 55 is Will Sharpton, plays offensive tackle and middle linebacker. Number 64, Luke Frederick, he plays offensive center and defensive end. Number 32 is Cody Farr, he plays linebacker and fullback. And then number 2, Jared Davis, who plays quarterback and plays safety as well. And we're going to get to call the coin toss. And I assume Jared called the coin toss, so that means we'll get somebody else to call it next week because we didn't win it. We'll find out who can call a coin toss. I'll tell you what, I think it was Brandon Miller that called them last year. We won about 6 in a row there. It was about week 6 or week 7 before we lost a coin toss.
Just keep throwing touchdown passes, Jared. You can lose the coin toss.
Beginning next week, we'll start doing like we have traditionally done, 2 of the permanent captains and then 2 honorary captains for that week. As I think the seniors are super important to being leaders, not only the captains, but the entire senior class has to be leaders.
You know, looking at the stands there on our side, at that point, they weren't full before the first quarter was over with. They were full.
That's exactly right.
People kept coming in and kept coming in.
Montrell Berry on the return, getting some great blocks, and that's the way to finish a run right there. And we've got the ball in great field position, and the offense is going to do a great job here of executing as we take 6 minutes off the clock. We throw a little pass there to Trey Burks. Now, most people think that was a run, but that was a pass because it was pitched forward. And so Jared Davis is 1,000% on throwing right now off that little pass. And come back and we fake it to Trey this time and give it to Montrell Berry, and he's following. Kelton Hickerson's making the trap block there, and Will Sharpton leading up in there.
Yeah, Mr. 8, his name is Berry, Montrell Berry.
And here's just a little pass route, and we get it to Shaquille Harris, and great job making another 3 yards after the catch. So instead of a 2nd and 5, we got about a 2nd and 2. And we misread it this time. Should have handed it off right there. We got Bob faked out.
I thought Montrell, everybody thought he had it.
But anyway, we're not going to be perfect every time, but that's a good job by Jared.
We don't fake Mr. Lamoya out very much. I want to thank Mr. Lamoya. He gave me a ride to the ball game last night. We had a good time.
We get the five of those yards back as we get them to jump into the neutral zone. And we throw a little screen pass here to Montrell. And again, good block there by Trey. And we pick up really good yardage. And again, it's a way to finish it off. We get a little delay here by the officials.
Those receivers appreciate those downfield blocks, don't they, Coach?
They sure do. There's the little pass again. And we pick up another 4 or 5 yards off of it. Except we would call for holding that time, so it will come back. repeat the down, long distance, and we give it to Shaquille Harris this time, going around the end, and Shaquille does a great job of just bearing on around, and I believe it would be Trey and Austin Creasman that were blocking out there, and Will Sharpton trying to run a little trap up inside right there, and McGavock does a pretty good job against Montreal right there. We go to a more of a, for the best we can do right now, power offense.
Right.
We at least got a second running back on the, we really have 3 running backs on the field. You got Cody Farr at fullback, you got Trey at tailback, and Montreal is the wide receiver in this set. And so we actually have got 3 running backs on the field, and we're going to run Trey back. You can see the trap right there by 71. See him trap the big defensive end, and Cody leads it up in there and picks up number 8, and we get it on down next to the goal line. We'll come back and run the same play again. And here comes Kelton. He traps the guy, and we hammer it up inside there and put it across the goal line there, Mr. Trey Burks.
You know, when you look at that defensive line they've got there, that's a big bunch of boys right there.
They're good size, and they're very athletic. 2 of them are at least. 55 and 60 are really athletic. And as you can see, we took 6 minutes and 5 seconds off the clock. And
Coach can't ask for much more than that.
That's as good as we can do right there. Score 7 points, and then Joseph Burke, who hit the PAT, now puts this one over the guy into the end zone. Great job. I mean, that's as important as anything that happened last night. Is his first 3 kickoffs are in the end zone.
Yes.
Because we had some videotape on them from last year, and they absolutely.
It's hard to run one back when it's in the end zone, because you can't.
That's
can't
correct.
come out
in
of
Tennessee high school football, you can't run it back, and
we've lost control, hadn't we?
I've lost a video.
It's first show, folks. We're still here. We'll get back there. It is. We had a switcher problem there. I don't believe it was operator error. I believe it was mechanical.
That was a 3rd down play right there. I wasn't sure what we had missed, but that was 3rd down and 12 as our defense comes in, and we gain 2 to 3 yards in the process as we hold them to -3 yards. They tried a little screen pass out to the right there, and Dalton Cox was all over it. And here it looks like it's going to go dead, but Trey picks it up. Now watch him pick up the blocks. You see that one block there, decleat them? That's the way to do it. And we return it all the way back down. Trey's got it inside the 17-yard line. It's time to go to work again, and we don't do as good a job right here as we should have. I'll take blame for this. We should have put this thing on in the end zone, and that's the way to run hard there by Shaquille Harris. Picks up a couple. He's got about 7 yards on that play. We're sitting there at a 2nd and 3. And probably should have just kept right on running right there and headed for that stick over there. Use our speed to make them catch us. Now we're in a 3rd down and 8, and we have to call a timeout here. We get a little confused.
Yeah, sometimes when you go to the dance, you dance too long. You got to go back and sit down.
That's what I'm saying. I blew it here. I tried to do something. I thought that the heat would be coming, and they are bringing an extra player. And we thought we'd already hit them with the inside screen, so I was going to try to run an outside screen into the boundary, or we were going to check to a pass play down the field based on how they aligned. And anyway, Joseph Burke comes in and kicks a beautiful field goal there, 31-yarder, and it is now 10-0, still in the 1st quarter.
Joseph did a very good job.
Here it goes again to the end zone, and this is just super important in high school football in the state of Tennessee. If you get a kicker that can do that consistently, it just changes the field position. They draw us off sides right there. Good job by McGavock. They're going to try to run a little option, and I think it's Dalton Cox. Well, Dalton was the first one, but this is the second wave. Will Sharpton and company that make the tackle and hold them to no gain, 2nd and 5 because of the previous penalty. Good job there. That's just good pitch and catch. Dalton Cox on the tackle. They don't make, I mean, they're not a bad football team, I'm telling you. They've got some kids that can make you miss, and they stay on their feet.
Yeah.
And Ryan Lawson making the tackle there, and they've crossed the 50-yard line. Here's a little bubble screen, and that's a great job by Dalton Cox. I'm telling you, we watched that number 5 catch that little screen on last year's tape. Gone. He returned punts for touchdowns. He returned kickoffs for touchdown. Number 5 was somebody we wanted to know where he was. He wasn't a big athlete, but trying to get the ball to 5, and Justin Brown steps in front of it. And Justin's probably the best pass cover we got out of the linebackers. He intercepted a couple in the preseason, and in practice he intercepts them all the time. Here comes the blitz. We pick it up. We just missed Shaq right there across the middle. 2nd and 10.
Shaq, you say?
Yeah, Shaquille, the kids call him Shaq.
Big Shaq retired, so we got little Shaq.
Here's the trap up the middle, and Montrell, great job. Keep those feet driving. That's the most exciting thing about last night to me from an offensive standpoint. We protected the football, but we've got some guys running with the football that are just not willing to go down. And then Shaquille Harris wants to show that throwing a pass is no big deal to him. And Trey Burks catches another pass. Trey may have been our leading receiver last night. He didn't catch a ball past 5 yards past the line of scrimmage, I don't think.
That's good. Doesn't make any difference. Doesn't make any difference.
And we're making yardage, and that's what counts.
And that's we're looking good. What is it? It's first quarter. It's 10-0.
10-0.
And Tullahoma's dominating the football game. You know, and those guys sometimes look kind of hot last night, warm. You know, when you need to hydrate and don't know what to do, get in the queue. See that queue right there? This is quartz water, and this is brought to us by Mid-South Distributing, Rick Gerwe, and all that bunch of fine folks over there wanting to support Wildcat football. And they're our water sponsor this year. And Mr. Gerwe does a lot of things behind the scenes, and we always appreciate their support for our Tullahoma Wildcat football team and all the other things he does in the community. So if you see Rick, just tell him thank you, because we really do appreciate him, Coach.
That we do.
Yes, sir.
I saw him a few weeks ago, and that's the first thing he said, Coach, anything we can do, let me know.
Yeah, he's a good man.
I think he does that for a lot of different organizations in our community.
He certainly does. And so we appreciate them. What we're going to do right now is take a quick commercial break, and we'll be back with the second quarter of Wildcat football.
The highest standard of excellence requires dedication and commitment. It's established over time. You know when you see it. You know when you feel it. There's a standard of excellence in healthcare. It's the Joint Commission Gold Seal of Approval. In 2003, Life Care Center of Tullahoma voluntarily achieved this accreditation and maintains it still today. Life Care, meeting a higher standard because residents matter most.
Since 1985, Life Communications and Security has been a household word in Middle Tennessee, mainly because people trust and believe in Life Communications and Securities in the work they do. Led by owner Jeff Wooten, LCS has continued to grow and earn the support of their many customers. When we ask businesses and homeowners who they put their trust in, these are the answers we receive.
Tommy Anderton with Traders Bank. When it comes to security and communications, we call Life Communication.
For all of our security needs at First Vision Bank, we call Life Communication. Life Communications is a small investment for us to take care of our major investment.
Knowing this, why would you ever call anyone else for your security or communications needs? Call Life Communications and Security at 931-455-9016 or 1-866-535-9016. That's Life Communications and Security.
The tent is up at Stan McNabb Chevrolet, and that means the model year wrap-up sale is now in progress. It's been a great year for Stan McNabb and Chevrolet. 5 Consumer Digest Best Buy Awards, North America Car of the Year, and 5 top safety picks. Our best model year ever. And check out this award-winning 2011 Chevy Silverado Extended Cab. Drive it off our lot for only $22,777. Best of all, we have a great supply of 2011 models, but they're going fast, so take advantage of the model year wrap-up tent sale at Stan McNabb Chevrolet today.
A lot can change in 2 years, but not everything has to. With the Charter Price Guarantee, lock in low rates for 2 years, because sometimes it's nice to know what's on the road ahead.
All right, Coach. Open up the second quarter. 1st and 10. Ball's on the McGavock 27-yard line. And we're trying to get the ball to Trey there. We thought we could clear them out, but the linebackers are dropping so deep that they did a good job breaking it up. We come back and try to run the speed sweep this way, and we're facing
they're a physical football team.
They are. 3rd down, and so we'll throw a little screen. And Montrell Berry, good move there. That's a way to pick up the extra yards, and that gets us the 1st down inside the 10-yard line.
I'm glad to see Cody in there for a hole buster.
He does a good job blocking, and there Trey does a good job of where the play was designed to go. There's not a hole. He ended up one-on-one with a guy, and he won the battle. And so Will Sharpton snaps, Jared Davis places it on the block, and Joseph Burke puts it through, and we're up 17-0, and that's about as good a start as we could have had. We did not want them to have the ball a lot. We felt like it was important for us to be able to run the ball against this outfit, and you'll see in a little while here where we tried to go to an all-throwing series as time was running out. Joseph London gonna make a recovery right there.
That's a big play right there, Coach.
Yeah.
One play
they were trying to make a big play themselves there and calling the reverse to get something going, and Sam Epley was actually right where he was supposed to be. And so even if it had come on around, we had somebody there, but as it was, they didn't handle it, and Mr. London has himself a fumble recovery.
And that was one of about 5 last night, I guess 4 or 5.
And we just didn't get number 60 blocked that time. If we had, we'd been in the end zone. We just need to accelerate through there because we had a chance. And we're going to come back, and actually we're trying to draw them off sides, which we had them off sides. We just happened to move ourselves. So come back and try something a little different. And this time Jared steps up and finds Shaquille. Same type route that we tried to hit with Trey earlier, except we ran it just a little bit deeper, and Shaquille finds an opening, and here we just miss it. You know, one of those things.
Low snap, hard placement.
It just, you know, I thought Jared got the ball on the block.
Yeah.
We just didn't do it, and that's the reason they make you kick them.
Yeah, if they were all gimmies, it wouldn't be.
That's correct.
That kind of stuff wouldn't happen.
We lose contain right there, and don't do a very good job of tackling. Dalton finally hangs on and brings him down, but
ride them, Cowboy.
They don't have great field position.
For a minute. Mr. Lamoya got him again. He's
a little rusty.
He's got that first ball game rust on.
Dalton Cox was on that last tackle again, and there's Justin Brown and Matt Ferris, Sam Epley. Thought we did a good job of getting to the football last night. We got more speed and quickness. Joe London, that's a great job. He took the dive and the quarterback right there. That brings up a big 4th down, and they're going to go for it. Watch Allen right here. See him come underneath, beat his blocker, and then he gets to the quarterback. They weren't even counting on optioning him. They were planning on option number 40 out there, and number 9 he just destroys their
Sure
plan.
did. Great play.
Come back, and whoop, here comes the quarterback this way.
That boy can't be that fast. Oh, yeah, he is.
Good job,
there he
Jared
went.
Davis. He might have positive yards starting off the year.
Yeah. Perfect throwing percentage and positive yards.
And here comes the trap, and Montreal bounces it on outside and then punishes the guy there at the end, and he's getting ready to punish him another one. And he's getting ready to punish him a free safety on this play. Here we're on trap, but we're going to go counter what we've been doing, and boom.
Boom! You want some of this?
That's a great job. And this time, you know, that PAT, they called it no good, and, which may be, but
they might have been looking somewhere else.
It was really close.
29-0.
Great job by the Tullahoma Wildcats. I am super proud of these young men. Here he comes, I'm telling you. Marcus White's on a hang on for life. And number 5, he's not very big, but boy, he sure is quick and he is fast. And the quarterback was trying to throw it to number 5 right there is what they rule. Or Joseph London may have a touchdown after he picks that one up. He finding his way to be around the football.
He sure is.
And good job right there. You know, Ryan Lawson, tip drill, and got to learn to run where there's no other blue shirts, so, you know.
Look what I found.
Good job. Another turnover created by our defense, and here comes Trey running. He picks up 10 or so. Another first down.
Brought down by the towel.
And we come back and run the same play the opposite direction. Turf Monster got him that time.
That's an ugly beast, isn't it, that turf monster?
That one is right there.
Yeah, that's a big one right in the middle of the whole thing.
And we come back, drop it off over there.
Makes you appreciate the facilities we have, doesn't it?
It does. 3rd down and 8. We talk all the time about trying to win 3rd downs. And this time, great job by Jared Austin Creasman. And we're going to come back and throw it to Austin again right here. We've been running on 1st down other than that little pitch pass to Trey, so decided to mix it up a little bit right there. And good job making the extra yards after the catch.
Yeah, that was a great move.
Again, instead of it being 2nd and 5, we just got another 1st down.
Yeah,
that's important.
That's
These receivers
wonderful.
are learning to catch that ball. And, you know, last week in our scrimmage, I thought both Ryan and Austin both did a great job with that last week. And even Shaquille right there. I mean, you know, he's battling for yardage that we wouldn't have made the 2 that we made right there.
While going through a tip drill at the same time.
And we're going to get penalized here. We had 12 on the field. It just took them a moment to figure out what had just happened right there, and they're going to blow it dead right here, and we get 12 on the field, which was a good call. Bad by us, good by them. So, here we go. We're going to try to run it this direction, and big old number 60, the Vanderbilt committee,
He was quick to get to that spot.
He was, but we'll come back and run it again because it was there. It's just a matter of us executing it right. And this time we give it to Trey, and he does a good job of pushing that one tackler off, and we have scored again. And Joseph Burke puts it through.
That is...
that's about as good a start as we can have.
Yeah. Would you take that for the next 9 games?
Next 14 games we'd take
14,
it.
14, yeah.
Yeah. Try to kick it to somebody different, but it doesn't make any difference. They can all run. And so they're right back out at midfield again. Dalton Cox on the tackle. I don't know how many tackles Dalton had, but he is on a lot of tackles. We missed right there on the dive, but we knocked the ball loose, and I don't know who it was that came flying in there. You guys, who came up with the ball there? Is that Ryan again?
Number 4.
Number 4?
Yeah.
Zane got it. Zane Price came up with it. We got a delay game there as we were missing some personnel. Try to start off with a draw play, and we pick up a couple back. And we're waiting on the officials to put the ball in play, and then they're going to flag us, and then they're going to wave the flag off. So there was no penalty because we were waiting on the official to put the ball in play. And try to hit Jesse Haywood there across the middle.
What would the flag have been for? Were they?
I didn't even ask what they were. Something about, I think Luke had his hand down on the ball, and then that's about as ugly as we can get right there, wasn't it, Jared? So anyway, we're going to punt the ball for the very first time, and this is actually the last play of the first half. So the clock's going to expire as this ball goes down the field, and Joseph Burke's first punt, it's not real pretty, but you know what, it's effective, and that's what counts. He got it out of there, and he gets better punting as the night goes along. So, but we didn't want a real good punt to these guys, because if 5 gets it back there again, he's a handful.
Yeah, that's but you know, we, like you say, we've started off this ball game first half. I mean, how can it be much better than that? Every you know, you have goals set for your teams. Excuse me. Every, you know, your offensive team, your defensive team, your receiving, or your punt, you know, your special teams, just about met every one of them, didn't you? On that deal, I mean,
on that deal, you know, there were a couple of holes that we got.
Right, but I mean,
you know, overall, it was a good way to start the season.
Very good way to start the season. And you know, speaking about that, we ticked on down there to the halftime, and we appreciate Ascend Federal Credit Union for being one of the folks who help us produce and promote this football show, and are by standing behind the Tullahoma Wildcat football team. And they just like for you to know the clock's ticking and your team's ahead. To stay in control of the game, you need an option offense. It's time for the Ascend option, giving your kids access to a youth account from Ascend Federal Credit Union. This account gives them financial options. It's never too early to learn how to spend and save money wisely. And a Discover, Venture, or Go Youth account from Ascend can help. For more information, visit fcu.org or call 800-342-3086. Ascend Federal Credit Union, raising possibilities. Ascend is federally insured by the NCUA, and membership is limited. And we want to thank Ascend Federal Credit Union because they're here with us every year, and they're a big part of our community. And congratulations on opening your new building out by the airport. It's an absolutely beautiful facility.
It is.
It's a wonderful addition to this town we have here. And I guess, Coach, what we need to do now is take a little break, and I think then we're going to see the band performance.
Very good.
So we'll be back.
Morning Point Assisted Living Residence is not a home, it's simply home for many seniors who just need a little help now and then. Morning Point offers private apartments for your independence. Come and go with the comfort of knowing that Morning Point is always there with qualified healthcare professionals to assist with medications, transportation, and your well-being. Enjoy restaurant-style dining at every meal. Choose participation from a wide variety of activities. Families take comfort in knowing their loved one lives in a safe place with all the benefits of home, plus a little assistance. Morning Point. Life continued.
No one likes being sidelined by an injury. The key to getting back in the game is seeking the shortest road to complete recovery. Top Rehab can restore and maximize your individual performance. Your injury becomes a brief timeout, not the end of the game. We provide specific physical, occupational, aquatic, and speech therapy. Before the whistle blows, you'll be back in the game.
I'm a natural athlete.
Top Rehab, generations of healing.
Cutting Edge Outdoors is for the everyday hunter.
No huge Midwest or fancy game farms on this show.
They got mud in their veins, grit in their jaw.
We're local boys hunting local farms just like you.
Cutting Edge.
This is Cutting Edge Outdoors. Ain't nothing safe.
Ain't nothing safe.
Leaving pedal to the metal, boy, it's open season.
All right, folks, we're back there. I am right there. That's right. And you know, we have someone that's sponsoring with us this year. We hadn't had it before, and we're really glad to have Mr. Sherrill involved with Sherrill Pest Control. And we're located on the Tullahoma-Manchester Highway, about halfway in between both towns, and he's got a commercial coming in, and it just didn't get here in time, so you get me. And their phone number is 455-0788. And let me tell you what, you got ants, you have bed bugs. Did you realize, you might have heard this, but there is a huge problem with bed bugs in the United States right now, and particularly in the southern area. And I don't think it's because people are not healthy or not. I don't think it has anything to do with the way people live. It's just all of a sudden they've shown up and they're coming in, and just like ants, sometimes when it gets to dry, you'll see ants show up in places that they usually don't. Termites, wasps, roaches, carpenter bees, all that kind of stuff. Shoot, Sherrill Pest Control can take care of it. Centricon, they can come put Centricon around your house. Don't have to worry about termites anymore. It's not all that old spraying. They have a thing that they put down in the ground, and it draws those termites away from your house to that bait, and they crawl up in that cylinder and they all die, and they come unload them and put some more stuff in there, and they doesn't bother anything. Very nice looking. They're even green to where they look like your grass.
Well, I know this, that we had fire ants for the first time to cross the track and get to the football field this
Really?
year. Yes. And I tried to treat them with some stuff that we normally use on the fire ants there around the campus, and after about 2 weeks, I finally gave up, and I called Sherrill Pest Control, and they came out. We haven't seen an ant inside the track since, as they did a great job, and then, very, very helpful to us. Every time we've had a need for them with our athletic fields, they have come and taken care of the problem, and I have nothing but the highest regards for Sherrill Pest Control. They are a professional company using professional products, industrial, commercial, residential, whatever you need, and you can't get any better than a testimony from this guy right here as far as I'm concerned. So give them a call at Sherrill Pest Control for all your pest control needs, 728-4280 or 455-0788. That's Sherrill Pest Control. Vernon, thank you very much for being involved with us here on the John Ollie Fifth Quarter Show, and I think we have some other people to hear from.
Why Traders Bank?
The convenience of 5 locations near you.
2695 Deckard Boulevard, Winchester. 1207 Hillsborough Boulevard, Manchester. 1602 North Main Street, Shelbyville. 412 West Lincoln Street, Tullahoma. 120 North Jackson Street, Tullahoma. Why Traders Bank?
The service of 61 friendly, knowledgeable employees meeting your banking needs.
We're Traders Bank in Winchester. Come see us. We're Traders Bank in Manchester. Come see us. We're Traders Bank in Shelbyville. Come see us.
We're Traders Bank on West Lincoln Street in Tullahoma. Come see us.
We're Traders Bank. Come see us.
Why Traders Bank?
The stability of 122 years, locally owned and operated, banking under the same name.
Traders Bank.
Why Traders Bank? Because you're welcome here.
Traders Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
This is Ken Huddleston, and this is KK's Music, Loans, and Jewelry. This is his son, Zach Huddleston, and this is his dad, Ken Sr., better known as KK. You never know what's coming through the door next.
A Gibson LG1 mid-60s sunburst guitar. Super Bowl 34 commemorative authenticated coin featured the Titans versus the Rams.
If you're looking for one-of-a-kind merchandise, come by KK's Music, Loans, and Jewelry in Tullahoma and Manchester.
Hi, I'm Lori Thompson.
And I'm Mike Thompson, and Lori and I have bought the dealership back on Highway 55, Thompson Ford, Tullahoma, Tennessee. It's back, it's wide open for business, and ready to serve you guys in the community.
And we want to thank you for allowing us to raise our children here. We've been here almost 15 years.
We want to thank the community. Without you guys, we couldn't have done it. We know it was your support that allowed us to achieve this dream. Come be a part of the dream, something special. Come see us at Thompson Ford. Ask for Mike or Lori.
They were,
the captains meet, and McGavock won the toss, and they deferred to the second half, so it'll be their choice right here, and they'll take the football, and we'll defend the scoreboard. And one of the things that's going to happen right here is with the score 36-0, the clock will keep running, so this is going to be a very short third quarter.
And at what point spread does that take
35
place?
points. We're trying to kick it away from 5, but he took it away from his own man. Dalton Cox, and Drew Young on the tackle. That's good.
Number 3 hit him twice.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I wasn't going to point that out. But
well, that's good. That's
Rhino
good.
took 2 shots at him.
He hit him the first time and got up and caught him and hit him again.
And the old boy was still on his feet.
But he was slowing him down every time.
He wasn't giving up. They run the dive right there. Now, they changed up just a little bit on us there as Shaquille Harris makes the tackle. Instead of bringing the dive all the way back across the center, they stayed front side with it that time. They're going to come back and try to do the same thing again, and this time we're not slanting away from it, so we play it a little better, but they still get 5 yards on the play. But that's a little halftime adjustment that they've made because of what we were doing concept-wise. Marcus White, great job, young man that's waited his time to play, and actually won that job in the last week based on last week's scrimmage at Giles County. He won the confidence of his coaches, and
good for him.
It is. It's a good story for Marcus. Rip that ball out. Luke Frederick causes the fumble. Watch little Epley. Little Sam digs that thing out
ball,
there and wraps it up.
That's mine.
And great job. Because I'm not sure that he was going to get that. I mean, he went in there after it, but I thought that they were going to call a tie ball and give it back to the offense, but he wrestled that thing away. Great job. Try to open up here, running Trey, and we get good blocking, and he makes good moves, picks up good yards. And I thought, all right, let's take this thing on down. This ball game be over with. And we're on bog down, though, instead of being able to function and put it all the way in. Try to run the little trap, and that time we didn't get 55 blocked, and he slipped the blocker and
he's a man.
popped us.
He is a man.
And so we come back and got
one batted down.
Got that one batted down, and we had a little problem there on our route. We needed to be sitting down quicker, and if we had, we not had a chance at it. Try to run the screen. We got them. All we got to do is pitch and catch there, but we're not able to pitch and catch. So we'll punt the ball back to them, and Austin Creasman's going to make a great play right here. I think we'll down the ball at about the 1 yard line. And Austin's up at the top right, at top of your screen there. You can see him running down the field, and ball's going to land at about the 12, and then he keeps it out of the end zone. That's a great job by the punt team. And it was good to see that. We need some good things to happen for the punt team. Trying to run a little quick screen here, and receiver drops the ball, and then quarterback's going to buy some extra time right here on this play, and he's going to find a receiver running a backside post. We're just a step away from making a play happen. We've matched up pretty good on the receivers on the front side, and that's just a good play by the quarterback and good catch, and Marcus, and I think Austin's the other corner. They just a little one step away from being able to knock the ball free.
Well, I thought when I was sitting up there watching it, when they both hit him, and at the time he caught that ball, I thought certainly he's not going to hold on to that thing, but he did.
He did. And they came. Came back and ran the quick screen, and obviously we're not bringing our corners up right now. We just don't want to give up anything deep. Brandon Koch almost had him one picked up there, but it's a forward pass. It's going forward. Just like our little pitch pass was going forward, that one was going forward. So good call, and good job. Matt Ferris has chased that old boy all night long, and Matt finally gets him there.
There you go, Matt.
Quentin Kirby helped box him in, and that's what I'm saying. See how fast the quarter went?
It's over right
it's
there.
Over. That's how fast it goes when that clock is just winding and never stopping.
What? Huh? 5-minute quarter. I'll tell you what I want to do right now before we get any further. I want to talk about my buddy, Mr. Greg Driver, and he's with Apex Restoration and DKI. And he and Chuck Lynch, and then who's the coach that's working over there?
Will Hyden.
Will Hyden's working over there with them. What they do is they are a restoration specialist, and they do everything from emergency services, water damage mediation, mold remediation, and environmental services. They do fire and smoke damage, content restoration, complete reconstruction, and they have a catastrophe response team. So I know recently when we had the tornado go through out by Jerry Harris's house out the Twin Oaks area out there, they did a lot of work out there. But you can get in touch with these folks and at 461-5508. And that is the Middle Tennessee line, and that is in this area right here. But DKI, Apex Restoration, picked DKI as the corporate person that they have chosen to team up with for all of this stuff, because to do this kind of work, there are all kinds of regulations, federal regulations and state regulations that you have to go through, and they have 24-hour a day service, 365 days a year, and their emergency response line is 866-461-5508. So you give Greg Driver or Chuck Lynch and those folks over there at Apex Restoration, DKI, a call for all your problems. Have a water heater bust and it floods your house, any of that stuff. Man, they can fix you up, and they're good folks too, and we're glad to have them be part of the John Ollie Fifth Quarter Show.
That we are.
That we are. So now I think we have another couple of folks we can talk about here, and we'll go to this commercial break, and then we'll be back with the fourth quarter. That third quarter was fast.
The Gondola, located at 412 East Carroll Street, is Tullahoma's oldest pizza, pasta, and steakhouse, featuring all kinds of pizzas, calzones, pastas, and steaks, chicken, pork, sandwiches, and seafood. Check out their daily specials on Facebook. And don't forget that on Saturdays there's ribs and smoked Boston butts. Add a great variety of appetizers and desserts. And come on in, y'all. Gondola has it all. For carry-out, call 455-9738. That's the Gondola Steakhouse, located at 412 East Carroll Street in Tullahoma.
Do you have jewelry that you'll never wear? How about a broken piece that's stashed deep into your jewelry box? Don't let your unused gold jewelry gather dust. Get the most out of its value today. Bring it in to Woodard's Diamond Showroom for cash or store credit. Walk away with the cash or put your credit towards a beautiful piece of jewelry you will actually wear. If you need a repair, we'll have it looking like new in no time at Woodard's Diamond Showroom inside Northgate Mall of Tullahoma.
Are your teeth dull, chipped, stained, or crooked? If so, call the dental practice of Dr. Mike Long. For a wider, brighter, more attractive smile, Dr. Long offers cosmetic dentistry at its best through whitening, bonding, and veneers. Dr. Long also uses laser technology, eliminating anesthesia and drilling. When you are ready to enhance your smile, call Dr. Mike Long, family practice dentistry for 29 years.
They say you see the world different. It's like I see the miracle of life in even the smallest things. And that's what it feels like to survive. St. Thomas Heart performs the most heart procedures in the state. That experience means more survivors. For more than 40 years, they have been leaders in cardiac care. That's experience you can count on because you want to survive.
Open up the fourth quarter with McGavock punting the ball back to us. Now, we're not sure they're on punt, but they do. Ryan Lawson's dropped back, and ball just will not quit rolling, won't get in anybody's hands, but there was a whistle blown, and they ruled that when the whistle blew that McGavock was in charge of the football, and so anyway, McGavock's ball. Justin Brown, Cody Farr, and Cody gets a cramp right there. I think he was the only player that we had last night that cramped while on the field. And we don't cover the boy going down the seam there, and he's able to make a big catch, so they got the ball first and goal at the 2-yard line. Defense really wanted a shutout last night, and they try to get one to the corner of the end zone. Marcus White's in good position there. This is a little flood route that they like to do out of this formation. And Marcus picks up number 5, and scrambling around, they almost still got it, but they're going to come back and they're going to run the ball right up the middle right here and punch it in. And that's just a good job by McGavock. Kind of got you in a bind right there, because if you go low like you normally would in a goal line defense, you get no pass rush. And if you stay high so you can get to a pass rush on the quarterback, then, you know, as big as they are, they can drive you out of there.
Right.
Kind of picky poison. And so it's 36-6 as we stop the 2-point conversion. They try an onside kick. It goes out of bounds at the 41. I said, we'll take the ball where it went out of bounds, and we got it at the 40. So anyway, part of it. Sam Toms giving off to Sam Epley, and we pick up 5 yards.
Sam Toms has a good run here in a minute.
That he does. It'll be in the next series. Come back and give it to Sam again, but we don't block the linebacker, and we get a holding call. As we've got second teamers in there across the board. And Sam tries to hit Zane Price right here and almost got him down that seam.
I guess a push in the back doesn't count after the play, does it?
No. And we try to run a little draw play here, and Sam does a good job.
Referee got a good block.
That's the way to keep your feet moving. And
yeah, Sam did a good job.
So we got a 4th and short, and we were going to try to draw them off sides, but we can't get lined up. I'm talking to Sam after this series, and he says, Coach, said, I used a term that they didn't understand what it meant. I tried to explain it to them, and so anyway, I haven't done a very good job as a coach to get the second teamers to understand one of our code terms, and that's a good punt. Joseph does a good job there.
Great job.
I like seeing the ball roll away from us. You know?
That's a real important thing, Coach.
It is. There was one day in practice, we had 3 different gentlemen trying to punt, and every one time the ball would hit the ground, it'd bounce back at us. And I said, can you guys not get the ball to bounce away from you? We had 10-yard punts and 8-yard punts after the ball would roll back down the field. And so I even took Jared Davis and put him over there and said, punt the thing, and his at least rolled away from us. And I said, he might be our punter.
That big old long leg gets some action on that thing.
Run a little passes here. And Sam Toms comes flying in there and makes the tackle. And good to see Sam being aggressive.
That old boy ducked at the end of that.
Dalton Cox on another tackle along with Philip Lett. And it's just nice having a bunch of young players in there playing right now. And they run a little screen themselves, and we were in pretty good shape, but number 5, we miss him there. And Chance Baxter and Justin Brown and Dalton Cox, and I couldn't see the fourth one there getting up off the pile. They come back, just hit a little pass. Sam Tom's on the tackle.
Sam's throwing that wood around out there.
That is. You know, being the old coach in me, though, I had to get after him about, hey, break on the ball and go get the ball and quit hitting the guy. You know? Yeah. But anyway, he was, I thought we played physical with him. I think that's Caleb Olive on the tackle with Dalton Cox.
All right, Caleb.
Here comes a reverse, and we're in good shape. We got it, but we can't tackle the sucker. They don't go down. I mean, that's reminiscence of last year. That's exactly the way they looked last year. You'd see them get slung around, and they won't go down. And just good job by them as they're still pushing ahead. And we got picked right there. Sam was actually breaking on the ball that time, and he got picked off by the receiver that was clearing that area out. They hit a little pass there, and I believe that's Drew Young on the tackle.
Brown almost picked that one off right there.
And then they run a little flood route, and we didn't understand how to line up.
Number 5 gets a pointer too.
He does, so they'll go for 2 again. That's okay. Who was it? Was that Josh? Jacob. I believe that's Jacob Pearson that made that stop. So it's 36-12. They're going to kick off right here, and Khalid Woods is on a recover for us. That's a good job. We'll take the ball to 42. And we're going to run just base offensive play here for us and get a good surge. But we're not reading it right, and so Sam didn't know that he wanted him to read that. He's gonna read it, and he's gonna make a good run, and he finishes the run. And I'm sorry about the delay here, but we're not snapping the ball until we get inside 5 seconds.
Right.
And so I'm waiting on the official who's standing behind the defense to start his clock movement now. They do a clock. And,
I noticed last night you were watching that.
Right, all I'm doing right there, you see me with the arm up, Sam's looking at me, and all I do is wait until he puts his arm up and starts his clock for 5 count, coming down, and we just need to snap the ball within 5 seconds. There's the correct read by Sam, and comes the fullback.
I love it. I love it. Punishment.
And he comes back and hands it off to Zane Price. And we'll take a knee and ball game over, and Tullahoma Wildcats have won the opening game of the 2011 season. And that's the first time we've done that in 5 years. So it was good to finally
that's a good
break
thing,
that.
isn't it?
We had been winning first ball games pretty consistently. We'd lose one every now and then, but anyway, we got it for this year.
That's great, Coach. Good job, and I know you were very pleased after some of the struggles you've had in the preseason to see these young men come out and perform the way they did.
Very, very happy.
Yeah,
very happy with them.
And speaking about performing, there's been somebody in this town who has performed for years around here, and that is Stroop's Accurate Refrigeration, folks. I tell you what, we want to thank them for what they do. We want to thank them for being involved in this program and all the other things they do to support this community, because they do a bunch. But what they do best is they are probably the best HVAC company there is around. They not only do they take care of residential, they take care of industrial, commercial. Geothermal is the latest thing, and I mean they are on the cutting edge of geothermal. They work on oil and gas furnaces for industrial. They have 24-hour emergency service. They are licensed dealers for Carrier and Train. You can find them at www.stroopsac.com. And I guess what, John, did you have 4 of their young men? 3?
3 of them play for us. And then the 4th one, who was real small back in high school, he now may be the biggest of all the brothers. Richie has turned out to be a big young man, and But anyway, Joe, Jeff, and Craig all played for us.
They're a fine family, and
several years ago now.
Fine family, and all of those young men are working right there with their mom and dad. It's a family thing, and you know they're wonderful folks to work with. You give them a call. Anything you need in your heating and cooling for those needs, and we'll guarantee you that Stroop's Accurate Refrigeration is named that for one reason. They are accurate about what they do, the best there is around here. So that's Stroop's at 455-8757, located at 513 West Lincoln Street in Tullahoma. Call Stroop Man. He'll keep you cool when it's warm outside. And Coach, I guess we're down to our players of the week. And what we've got this year, folks, is we've got something a little bit different. We want to thank Gondola, the Pizza and Steakhouse out on the Manchester Highway, for participating with us. Gondola is for our offensive and defensive player of the week each week, is going to cook those boys a 10-ounce ribeye steak dinner. So we appreciate them for what they're doing out there. And this week, our offensive player of the week is Montrell Berry. And Montrell had a good night last night.
He did. He ran the ball hard, and I was sitting there thinking, you know, if I'm an offensive lineman, I was wondering how much of that steak I get.
Well, we'll have to work on those linemen before it's all over with.
You know, Montrell, though, ran the ball really hard, finished off runs really well. And so, anyway, I don't have the stats. When we rolled in here last night, I did not pick those up. And so, anyway, but he had a good ball game. It's obvious if you watch the video, and we had several guys that played really, really well offensively last night. Montrell, though, it's a great start to his senior year, and so glad to honor him.
Well, and another thing that you need to look at, and I know my son Jacob and I were talking about it on the way home last night, is what these young men, Montrell and Trey, and these guys do for each other. And that is the guy who's going up front, busting that hole and sticking their head in there first. And both of those young men are excellent blockers, and they help one another. And folks, we have a lot of excitement to look forward to out of those two young men during this season. Now we're going to have our defensive player of the week, and had a great ball game last night. He was everywhere around the football, and that's Dalton Cox.
Yeah, he just gets better and better. Dalton always been able to run. He didn't play football, I don't think, until the 8th grade. And he's always been a lineman, but it was during the Lions Bowl of his freshman year that we saw him run down a kid from Siegel, and 30 yards downfield, not once but twice. And we decided then and there we needed to get him up off the ground and put him back on his feet. And I think he's just on to become an outstanding football player as we go through this year.
Good, that's great. And for our unsung hero, three kickoffs into the end zone?
Yeah, and they were the first three, and I thought that was crucial. That we held field position the whole first quarter belonged to us.
And a field goal, 30 plus yard field goal?
31-yard field goal.
And some PATs, and did a great job, and that's Joseph Burke. So we thank you, Joseph, for a great ball game last night. We appreciate it.
And also punted for us last night.
Yeah, that's right.
And had 0 return yards.
And his dad was sitting in front of me and said he didn't start punting until a couple of weeks ago. His dad got him a DVD to teach him how to punt.
That, and Jeff Hall's father came over here and met with him last Saturday and worked with him on punting.
Yeah, So that's how you make a football team, folks. A winning football team. You find the people that you've got and put them in a place where you need them, and coach them and get them to where they can perform. And that bunch we've got down there, John Olive and his crew. And we can't say enough about the coaches that work with you and their families, because they're getting ready to go on about a 14-week run of not being around their husbands and family much.
That's what we'd like to do. We'd like to do. I think all of the families would make that sacrifice for a one-time experience.
There you go. Folks, we're going to Cookeville.
Go to Cookeville, and that's all we need to be thinking about right now. Is
they got beat tonight?
They got beat on Thursday night. They played on the Thursday night light game by Brentwood. Outstanding 6A program. Got beat 21-7. They were missing their best football player. Now that's the big question.
Right.
Is he going to miss our ball game, or is he coming back for our ball game?
We'll see.
We will see next Friday.
Be a good ball game. That's in Cookeville.
That's in Cookeville at Cookeville High School, and Coach Jerry Joslin and his staff do a great job. They've won a lot of ball games at Cookeville. Cookeville was a program going nowhere until he showed up, and they have been a consistent winner ever since.
There you go. Folks, that's the John Olive Show, the kickoff show for the 2011 season. Thank you for being with us. This show will play again tonight on Saturday night at 8:30 and on Sunday afternoon at 3. And until next week, go Cats. You take that.